Happy Health Day, everyone. I am NaKeitha Ross, one of the minds behind, I say one of because I'm just meshing with everybody to really create this concept of the fearless female. And I'm here today with one of the people who always share with me ideas and trends and different techniques to really pump this thing up. So I'm happy to have Brandy Jackson with me today. Brandy has been one of my biggest supporters of this fearless female movement. So thank you so much, Brandy,
You're
for being
welcome.
here and really, really, really supporting the movement. I'm just happy to have you here, to have you a part of the journey and the process.
I'm honored. I'm honored to be here as well. I'd always talk about you guys as an organization, the Fearless Female, the Women of Icon, how I'm truly blessed to be connected to someone with such magnitude in you know, the things that you do in the community means a lot, and I truly support you guys.
Thank you so much. So
welcome.
Brandy Jackson is the owner and the chief agent of the Brandy Jackson All-State Agency, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been an agent?
I've been an agent now going on 3 years, and I've been with Allstate, the company, going on 5.5 years.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Brandy, our topic today is faith over fear. Before every podcast, I always send my guests a series of questions, just general questions so I can shape the conversation and just see which direction we're going to go in. And I asked her, give me one word to describe your 2018.
That one word that I would say would describe my 2018 would have to be faith.
Faith.
I've had to walk by faith throughout this whole year. God, you know, truly, truly has thrown some things my way. And he said, do you really trust me? Mm-hmm. Do you really trust me like you say you do? And I'm going to test that faith. And I remember this was maybe 3 years ago. My hairdresser gave me a little card with a small little mustard seed inside of it. And it says, if you have faith as small as this mustard seed, anything is possible. And I read it every single morning when I get in my car. I have it on my visor in my car. But this year, that one word has to be faith, because I've had to walk by it all year.
It's been tested.
It's been testy, very testy. Yes.
So today's topic is faith versus fear.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times your faith is trusted when you're scared. When you're the most
Absolutely.
afraid, the most unsure, the most uncertain,
Yeah.
that's when you decide, am I going to be fearful or am I going to be faithful?
Right.
I think that's when the faith walk is really, really tested.
Absolutely.
When you have to really walk it. When you're faced with adversity,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, am I going to clam up? Am I going to get scared? Am I going to become paralyzed? Or am I going to press forward, move forward? That's when your faith is really tested.
A lot of times when God is ready for you to move to the next level, it's very scary. 2019 is going to be an amazing year, and I know where He's taking me, but you know, it will definitely test your faith, because it doesn't look like what you think it's going to be like when you ask God, enlarge my territory.
Mm-hmm.
So that answer that you get may not look like that package that you wanted.
Most
And
of the
when
time
he's-
it doesn't.
and when He say move, it's time to move. And it's very scary. So that's why, like you said, to reiterate that, or what are you going to do? Are you going to be fearful, or are you going to trust Him and move forward? Yeah.
So do you mind sharing a few instances where your faith has been tested throughout the year?
No, I don't. You know, I lost a loved one earlier this year. Close. He was kind of like the rock to our family. And, you know, seeing my mom go through it, it was her brother. You know, I looked at that and I said, you know what? I'm not going to let this be a distraction to what I have going on, because being an entrepreneur, when things are going crazy around you, you can't crumble.
No, you can't.
You have to be the strong one, even though you want to be the weak one, even though you want to cry, even though you want to, you know, have somebody to have your back. You are the person that everybody goes through. So being that entrepreneur this year, I would definitely say has thrown some curveballs. It has challenged me in such a way that I would have never even imagined. And God is getting ready to do some things coming up in 2019 as it pertains to my business that I wasn't ready for, but He said it's time for you to make a change. And so things are getting ready to expand for the Brandy Jackson Agency.
So how long have you been an entrepreneur?
I've been an entrepreneur since 2016.
So what caused that transition? To leave, a job with guaranteed benefits, guaranteed days off, sick days, insurance, 401k, to leave all of those definite for sure things to take a chance on yourself.
One of the biggest things or the biggest reasons why I left a Fortune 500 company, been with them for 16 years, to walk out on faith, to say, I want to, do this entrepreneur thing. I wanted to break this generational curse, this generational thing of lack. I wanted to leave a legacy for my family. I want to pass this business on to my children, my grandchildren. I look at so many individuals from our past. If you look at President 41 George W.H. Bush, if you look at their family photo, this thing has been going on for generations to generations to generations. I want that for my family. And guess what? It's supposed to get better with each generation.
It is.
And I see it. I see the work that my grandparents put in. I see the work that my parents put in. So me coming after them, I have no choice but to work hard and break that curse and keep the generations going and have a legacy for my children.
It's funny that you bring up the Bushes, the Bush family.
Yeah.
Because that is what I saw, his death recently, today they actually, buried him, did the services and things of that nature. But his death really made me see him in a whole different light.
Absolutely.
To me, he was just a Republican president. You know what I mean?
But you didn't know.
He was such a family man. His legacy, how sweet they said he was to people.
Yeah. Outside of that presidency, he was a real human being.
He was. I mean, his legacy is a good legacy. It really lives after him. And I mean, you hear the words that everybody say about him were so nice. And a lot of times when you die, people always have nice things to say.
Absolutely.
Not that many people.
Absolutely.
And because you're the president, that still don't mean. I mean, look at Trump. He's the president. I don't imagine his funeral being as illustrious and so many nice words and so pretty. You get what I mean?
Absolutely.
People saying great things about that person. But going back to the family, you're right. Look at how politics was his thing and all his sons for the most part.
Yeah.
And grandchildren.
Yeah.
George P. Bush, he's the land commissioner.
Absolutely.
So just all of those
It's
different
just
things.
going from generation to generation
And that's
to
his
generation.
what is that, his grandson?
His grandson.
His grandson,
Yes.
yes. Jeb's son.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're right. It's generational.
Yeah. So
It's
when I looked at that
generational.
family photo, he had 17 grandchildren. He has his own children. He started that legacy years ago, him and his wife, him and Barbara. And to me, that's so amazing that they created that legacy and it's just living on from generation to generation. So that was my reason for stepping out to say, you know what? They already have a legacy for their family, the owner of this corporation. I need to build my own. And that's the reason why I decided to walk out on faith.
So all different, a whole lot of different businesses you could have chosen. I mean, you could have done a lot of different things.
Absolutely.
You could have been a tax service. You could have did what's another business that's really popular? Cleaning, janitorial service. I mean, there were so many different businesses.
So many different things.
So what made you decide insurance?
I get asked that question all the time. I have a really good friend that's been in insurance for the last 10 to 12 years, and she thought I'd be a great person, to get into insurance. She said, you're doing really great in sales, because I was in sales in my last organization. And so I said, you know what? Whatever it is that I go into business doing, I want to help people. I said, and I feel like if you're helping people, the money will come. And you know how many emails and text messages and phone calls that I receive from clients just thanking me that I, gave them the best advice on what to, purchase. And when they had a hardship, they were able to call me at 10 o'clock at night and say, I had a water break in my home. Can you help me? Who do I call? Those type of things are so rewarding becoming an agent. And like I said, I've been in sales before, and it was a no-brainer. I was like, hey, this is a product that people have to have.
Yes.
And in return, I'm helping them. So that was my reasoning for going into insurance.
A great call.
Yep.
So let's talk about your children. So you talk about legacy.
Yes.
How old are your children? And what are their names?
My daughter's name is Emishiko. She's 20 years old. And I have my son. He's 8 years old, and his name is Kenyon.
Okay.
And he's a ball of fun.
He's a ball of fun.
Yes, he is.
Hey, you and I are
A
so
lot of
similar because my
personality.
daughter's 21.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy's 9. They're 12 years apart. So what a gap.
Yep. 12 years apart. I started completely over.
So I mean, let's talk about parenting.
Okay.
Parenting 20 years ago, parenting today.
Yeah.
So you and Michiko kind of grew up together. That's how Jada and I.
Absolutely.
Jada and I grew up together. So a lot of times people see us, yes, we're mother and daughter, but we're almost like mother and daughter, sisters. Because even though her and Jeremy 12 years apart, we only 18 years apart. So I'm just, so we grew up together.
Me and Michiko grew up together. We saw a lot of things together, and I think that totally helped her become the young lady that she is, seeing those things that, I had to face, coming up. And like you said, we grew up together. And I will tell you, each child is different. Mm-hmm. Each child is different because she was my laid back and, kind of go with the flow kind of kid. I have a totally outgoing 8-year-old that will talk you. He's very smart and he's very outgoing. He's very popular. He's a completely different kid.
I'm over here trying to think about my kids.
Yeah.
Which one of your children like to go the most? Go. Which one of your children have to be entertained all the time?
I will have to say it, my son.
And see, it's different for me. And when you were describing your children, I was thinking, both of my kids are pretty outgoing. They both have pretty outgoing personalities.
Right.
Neither one of them are introverted.
Mm-hmm.
But Jada is my high maintenance child. Has always been.
Yeah.
The one who had to be entertained, who just always doing stuff, always want to try new things. I mean, Jada has been in sewing schools, cake decorating classes, photography, like everything. The girl even wanted to go to DJ school.
Absolutely.
Like that was my child who was always outgoing.
Yeah.
Jeremy is my more laid back child.
Mm-hmm.
He don't require much.
Yeah. See, Michiko she's my more just go with the flow kind of, just, because she went to school in California. Mm-hmm. Her background is dance. She was in school for dance.
Okay.
And so she's real artsy and kind of, I'm just going to go with the flow. She went to school in California and she fit right in, with the whole dynamics
of
the
culture,
vibes, everything. She
there.
was just, hey, why are you stressed about life? Just go with the flow, and I'm like, hey, you need to get it, and she's like, Mom, it's going to be okay, but I think Kenyon, on the other hand, he's going to be the more high maintenance, the whole, probably take a lot of my attributes as far as being a hustler, a grinder, because I can kind of see that in him already at 8 years old. He'll walk up to someone, hey, my mom's an Allstate agent. You need insurance? And so I'm like, wait. That's so
you
awesome.
already see the hustle in him.
I already see the hustle in it.
And Jada's definitely a hustler though. She's definitely like always grinding, always trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And she definitely has the hustle mode.
Yeah.
So Jada and Kenyon, they're similar.
They're similar.
And Michiko and Jeremy, they're similar.
They're similar.
But
That's right.
For me, I know I think with Jada, being a parent 20 years ago and being a parent now, it's like what I value then, I don't value now. Does that make sense?
It makes
perfect sense. And so with Jada, it was more of material, and I had less then.
Mm-hmm.
I had less then, and it was more about material. And now that I have more with Jeremy, it's more about experiences.
That's right.
I want to create experiences.
That's
I want to expose them to certain things. So I just noticed that is different as a parent. And then you tend to relish in certain moments more.
Absolutely, you do.
You don't want to miss
now
certain
that you're
things.
older,
yes.
You're more mature. The things that matter now didn't matter back then.
Mm-hmm.
And, I even look at it like you said, the experience. Instead of buying my children Christmas gifts that they're going to throw away in a week, we go on Christmas trips every year now.
Mm-hmm.
Because those are memories that they'll never forget.
Exactly.
And so every year we pick a place and we go for Christmas.
See, that's what I'm about. I'm about creating experiences. Experiences last a lifetime,
Absolutely.
Those toys, they'll be missing a leg. The man will be missing a leg next week.
And my child, he tears up all of his toys.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I want to talk a little bit more about faith over fear. One thing I know about faith over fear, talking about that legacy, when you are a person who is faithful and willing to take risks and really willing to trust God, you tend to breed children like that.
Absolutely.
And I believe that the reason why I'm so much of a risk taker myself, and the reason why I'm rolling with faith over fear is because my mom was such a risk taker, and so for her, when she took risks, she made it look so easy. So I was like, okay, I'm not scared.
Yeah.
And I noticed Jada's the same way.
Absolutely.
So when we think about legacy and trends, those things
are going to feed down to my children.
Those things are generational.
Yes.
Because I think about my husband. He tends to be a little more laid back.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to take as many risks.
Absolutely.
But that's because of his upbringing. Because sometimes people tend to play it safe. And there's nothing wrong with playing it safe.
Absolutely.
Nothing wrong with playing it safe. But those trends and things are kind of passed down to your children.
They are. And I look at my parents. My mom was a hairdresser for like 30 years. So that entrepreneur spirit possibly came from her. My dad, he owned a business outside of that. When I was growing up, my parents owned a restaurant. I grew up working in the restaurant, So I guess that's where that entrepreneur spirit came from. One day I want to be a business owner. Mm-hmm. And that's where I strive to be there because I saw the freedom.
And even Jeremy, I think because the entrepreneurial spirit, even he's not even talking about necessarily, working for anyone. And not because I'm like saying no. I'm like, no, be an engineer, be a doctor, be a lawyer, be a dentist. I mean, it's okay to work for people.
It's okay.
It's like just be a professional, have a trade.
Absolutely.
Be a welder. It doesn't matter. Just have a trade and be able to provide for yourself. Go to the service. Right. Whatever works for you. So I'm not over there saying like, entrepreneur is the only way to go. But it's so funny that your children tend to gravitate to it even if you don't speak the thing into existence.
That's right.
Because even for Jada, I so wanted her to go to college and finish a 4-year degree. I did. But that wasn't in her cards. That wasn't in her deck of cards, and it's okay because going to college doesn't guarantee success. I'm so sure about that.
Absolutely.
I'm so sure about that.
I just had a conversation with someone about that.
But, again, I want to create experiences.
That's
right.
So
for me, her going to college, her completing it just makes her a little more well-rounded to me.
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
And also, it just creates an amazing network for you.
Yeah. I just had a conversation with someone the other day about school. And I say it respectfully. School is not for everybody.
It's not.
And
it wasn't for her.
Yeah. And I had to accept that as a parent because I was forcing. And now I took a step back and I said, you know what? Let her make that decision because the last thing you want to do is her to do it because that's what I wanted. Mm-hmm. I went to school. I graduated. I got a degree. But I didn't need a degree to do what I'm doing right now. But I will say, the experience was amazing, and I did learn a lot that I'm actually using right now today.
And I don't think our business at 360 Degrees Hair Studio, I don't think it would be as profitable. I don't think it would be as stable without my business background.
Absolutely.
I'm being honest with you. Because salons open every day. Mm-hmm. And close every day.
Absolutely.
But I feel like that business background, being well-rounded, being very knowledgeable in it, allowed us to have some sustainability.
Yeah.
In during tough times, during times where
totally agree.
Recession, things of that nature.
I totally agree with that. I just, during that conversation, I told them, I said, you know what? Everybody has capital, to go and open up a business. But do you have the education? Do you have, what it takes to be a profitable business owner? I can have money all day. I remember, going through agency class and agency school, and there were people in the class, they just had capital, but they had no knowledge about the industry. And that was an advantage that I had because I worked in the industry before I became an agency owner. Mm-hmm. So I had that education. I had the knowledge that I needed to become a successful business owner.
I mean, it just all makes it
is.
Adds more dimension.
Let's
just say that. Adds more layers to it.
It does.
Not that one is better than the other, but I just wanted her to go to college and finish college. But now looking at it, she's doing her thing.
She's doing amazing.
She's doing her thing. And, again, like you said, the way you see success or the way you think God's supposed to deliver, he don't deliver like that all the time.
Absolutely.
So fast forward, she came back home. She completed her what is it, 2 years? Her associate's degree.
Right.
At ACC. Mm-hmm. Came right back home. She did that. And then now, she's been booked and busy. Did a Project Friday with Essence Magazine.
I seen that.
Did a private makeup class on Saturday. And then yesterday, day before yesterday, she actually had a private session with a lady in her home for her photo shoot. So she's booked and busy.
And I absolutely love it. Every chance that I get, I tell her how proud I am of her.
Thank you.
She reminds me of a young me, just trying to get it. And, that hustle, that grind is a gift. and everybody don't have it.
They don't.
So she's truly blessed, and I tell her all the time how proud of her I am, because she's a millennial, and not very millennials have that pick up and go and that hustle in them. And so all she's doing is setting her future up so that way she doesn't have to work hard.
But going back to what you said when the conversation initially started, each generation is supposed to get better. You know, my mom said all the time, you know, in the salon, we're 3 generations working together.
That's right.
My mom always say, you know, Keitha, you're better than me.
Mm-hmm.
And Jada's going to be better than you. And that's what it's supposed to be.
Yes.
It's supposed to, each is like a new model.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
The 1996 version was great in 1996.
Absolutely.
But the 2012 version, going to be a little more advanced. We're going to kick out that cassette. We're going to have a little CD player. But now the 2020 version may not even have a CD player. It's straight USB, Bluetooth. So it's just going to get better with time. And it's okay.
That's right.
It's okay because guess what? It's a family affair.
That's right.
You know, so we legacy building, we making it better for next generations because so many times, and you've seen this in your industry, people die and we leave debt.
Yeah.
We leave bills.
Yes.
You know, so we don't give our family proper time to mourn because we're trying to scrape up and figure out how we're going to pay for this funeral.
That's right.
You know, and that's the value of insurance.
That's
having
true.
burial insurance, having life insurance,
Yes.
having medical insurance.
Yes.
You know, because if you don't have medical insurance, you're leaving all these bills.
Yeah. I have this conversation quite often with a lot of my clients. I just held a team meeting in my office this morning with my staff. And one of the things I talked about was when you talk to your clients, give them real life scenarios and let them know that it happens to young people, old people. Be prepared. Leave a legacy. I tell my children all the time, the Brandy Jackson agency is not for me. It's for them.
Right.
And I'm working extremely hard now to leave something for them because we got to stop it somewhere. That generational thing of leaving debt has to stop.
Right, because we shouldn't be having GoFundMes to bury people.
Absolutely
we shouldn't
not.
be selling plates, and we shouldn't have to do like an offering tray, and everybody got to put money in the pot. We should be better prepared because one thing about life and death.
One thing for sure, we all gonna die.
Exactly. We don't know when, but we all gonna die.
But
for
you
sure.
got, and you have to be prepared.
You have to be prepared.
Right now, I'm doing a promotion throughout the month of December. It's called The Gift That Keeps Giving.
Okay.
It's for individuals like grandparents, parents. Instead of buying your children or your grandchildren gifts that mean nothing, purchase them a life insurance policy. They will thank you later. Lock them in while they're young. Those rates never change, and they are able to have living benefits. If the children are my son's age, by the time he gets to college, he'll have money saved up for, school or opening a business or whatever he wants to do. That's another way to create that legacy, to generate some type of money to have later on. And we don't do that in our community. We are missing the buck, and it's a mindset thing. And I want us to really, really get on board, because once we get past that, I think that we would be able to leave our children something.
It's definitely mindset
Something.
and priority.
Absolutely.
Priority. We understand that even though insurance is invisible, it's important.
That's right.
It's that thing that you can't hold in your hand.
Absolutely.
So sometimes people don't see the value of it. And it's a thing that you don't necessarily need right now. But boy, when you need it and you don't have it.
It's a tough thing.
Oh, man. Think about Hurricane Harvey.
That's right.
Flood insurance.
Oh, my
man,
gosh.
people wish they had flood insurance.
Absolutely. I'm still writing flood policies right now today because of Harvey, because of the level of afraid. They're afraid that if it comes back and something like that happens again, they want to be prepared now. Even business owners are coming to me because it's not covered in your business owner policies. You got to have that. So like you said, insurance, it's not a bill, it's an investment.
It is. And
It's definitely an
it's
investment.
important. It's needed.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to do without some other things.
Yeah.
A little less Starbucks.
That's
A
right.
little less eating out.
That's
like sacrifice something else because it's really, really worth it
Absolutely
in
it
the long
is.
run.
Yep. I agree.
So 2019.
Yes.
What should we expect from Miss Jackson?
There's a few things that are going on in 2019. I will have some very exciting changes that's going to come about professionally and personal. So,
Okay.
You guys stay tuned, and I definitely will keep everyone posted on both. So I'm very excited about both. Like I said, faith over fear. It's really scary. But when God says move, it's time to move. And when he gives you his blessing, you have to take that faith and walk. and do what he says.
I read and I wish I saved it. I read a meme that said if you're comfortable, you're not in the right space. But if you're scared, you're in a perfect space. And I say scared in a way meaning like if you're nervous and you're unsure about it and it's like, I don't know, that's the space we're supposed to be in.
Absolutely.
Because that space creates growth.
I'm going to give you an example. When I became an agent for Allstate, I met with my territory sales leader. And he went back and he told my mentor, he said, when I spoke with Brandy, one of the things I asked her is how did she feel before she got ready to open up her agency? And my answer was, I'm kind of nervous and I'm kind of, it's scary. And he said, by the mere fact that she answered that way lets me know that she was going to be successful. He said, because anybody that walks in here, oh, I'm totally prepared and this, that, and the other. He said, that kind of scares me, as far as, how well they're going to do. He said, but the mere fact that she came in and she was afraid and she was nervous lets me know that she's going to kill it. And like you said, being in that space to know that, I'm nervous, I'm scared, that uneasiness, unfamiliar, lets you know that vision, that God is getting ready to blow your mind.
Yeah.
And I feel it. I'm excited, I'm scared, I'm nervous, but I gotta walk by faith and not by sight.
I really think 2019, if I'm just talking to different people, I just feel like 2019, the word is going to be transition.
Absolutely.
Transition, unfamiliar. A lot of those things, it's going to be a lot of new spaces in 2019 for people.
Yeah.
People who have been in positions and places and dealing with the same people will find themselves transitioning, meeting new people, going to new places, going to new spaces, and doing new things. I feel like that for 2019. So many people that I spoke with on this show just saying 2019 going to be different.
It's going to be different.
There's going to be a lot of changes in 2019. But I welcome them. I'm looking forward to them.
I welcome them as well. I do.
To learn more about Brandy Jackson, check out her Instagram, The Insurance Diva. Also, she's on Facebook, Brandy Jackson. And we also have a flyer for her agency. Yes. She's located on 1414 South Loop West, Suite 140, Houston, Texas 77054. She can take care of your home, auto, life, flood insurance. Anything else?
We have a full service agency. We do pretty much everything that NaKeitha brought up. So definitely give us a call. I'm online all the time. If you need to reach me on Instagram, if you need to reach me on Facebook, I'm there. If you need to call the office, I'm very accessible. And you can always shoot me an email as well, brandy.jackson@allstate.com.
Brandy is a fearless female on the move. Thank you so much, Brandy, for being here today.
I appreciate you for having me. I'm so honored that you asked me to be here.
I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you.
And I'm just excited about this journey, going through this transition with you in 2019.
I know.
Watching them unfold.
Yes.
Yes, on front row. I can't wait to see this. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Until next week, I'm NaKeitha Ross. Again, Brandy Jackson.
Brandy Jackson.
Thank you.
Thank you.